Thank you for listening to Queen of Diamonds. I am your host and creator, Diamond Perry. This show is now available on IG at Queen of Diamonds, and that's Queen OV Diamonds, IGTV, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Castbox, and Podcast Addicts. Thank you for listening and supporting this show. I am Diamond Perry. Hey everybody, it's Diamond Perry, host and creator of Queen of Diamonds. This is my newest podcast show. Thank you for joining me. This show is now available on IG at Queen of Diamonds, and that's Queen OV Diamonds with an S. It's also available on IGTV, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Castbox, and Podcast Addicts. I think I left out iHeartRadio as well. Thank you for joining this podcast show. This is the second recorded show, and I just ask of all of you who've been supporting me along the way, support this show as well. All of my shows are positive platforms, so it's kind of the same thing. Everything's positive. At the same time, the show is enjoyable, and I always have something inspirational to say or to talk about. Thank you for listening. Support this show by subscribing and sharing. Those of you who are Spotify users, go on to Spotify, type in Queen of Diamonds or my other podcast show, which is Inspire and Lead. And please subscribe and listen and share. You can share on your Facebook, IG, any of your social medias. You can also send me a message or leave me a message or any questions or anything you have, comments about the show. I appreciate it all. It's all support. Now, we're in the last month of 2019. This is your last month to throw out the old and prepare for the new. And that's something that I've been telling myself. Come December, I pretty much have already, really in November, I've pretty much already started generating a list of things or a mental note of things that I want to prepare for my success for the next year. Things that I want to do better, things that I want to change about myself, my life, my situation. And so I'm pretty sure everyone does that. If you're not preparing a mental list or a mental note, then you're preparing a list for change. Some people still say New Year's resolutions. I just call it my list of change. So right about now, we're in the last year of the month. You should already know what you want to change, what you didn't have happen this year that you would have liked to have happened, things that you would have liked to have accomplished. You did not get the chance to accomplish in 2019. You still have a chance to accomplish those things because we're at the end of the year. It's getting ready to be a new year, 2020. So, there's still, time for change. Time is of the essence, but there's always enough time to change and to better yourself, to change yourself, to change relationships. So it's all preparation. And now's your time to prepare for change. Now's your time to prepare for success, to better yourself, better relationships. And when I say relationships, I don't just mean marriages or, a relationship for a couple. A relationship could be a coworker. A relationship could be, a friendship. So, now's the time to work on that. We all speak on how we want to better ourselves, especially when it comes to the end of the year, because we've realized what mistakes we've made and, what things that we didn't do, so it's time for change. But one thing that I like to say is when you're preparing to make these changes, because some of us go from one year to the next and then to the next, making the same mistakes. And we ask ourselves, how does this keep happening? Or, how do I keep ending up in this same situation? The reason that we tend to end up in the same situation or to repeat the same mistakes is because we never changed our mind. And that is the important thing that I want everyone to remember going into 2020. The change of our mind is the start of changing ourselves and our lives. So, because you told yourself you were going to make this change in your career or in your education or in your marriage, but when the next year comes, there's no change that's made, or we think that we have changed. We start doing different things, and we are thinking that our situation is going to change. But then a month later, or 3 or 4 months into the year, we're back to our same old ways, or we're back in the same situation, or you're back in the same financial struggle. The reason for that is because you didn't change your mind. Once you change your mind, then you will be able to change yourself and change the way that you live and the way that you think. So just remember that, before going into 2020, if you haven't changed your mind, and I spoke a little bit about that on the last show. If you haven't changed your mind, changing your residency, changing your atmosphere, or changing your circle of friends or the way that you speak, it's not going to change anything until you change your mind. So once you change your mind, that is the start of changing yourself and your life. And that right there is the start of your success. I really love to see more change with our people, all of our people. When I say all people, I mean people of different races, people of different religions and different cultures, but especially on the Black race as a whole. And I speak on that a lot of times because I am an advocate for people of color, but as well, I am of Black race. And I see so many things, in our communities, in the Black communities, that are changing, but I see so many things that are not changing. And a lot of those things that are not changing are what is keeping the Black community down as a whole. So I speak on that a lot. We tend, and it's not everyone, but it's our race as a whole, and that's how I'm speaking. We tend to not understand that until we learn to love and support each other, that change will not be made. And as I said before, we will remain at the bottom of the barrel. And that's our race as a whole, the Black community. So, I would really love to see that change. And I would like to see an enormous change in the Black community. I speak on that because I am a previous business owner, as well as I am in the industry, which is a form of entrepreneurship. And I see so many people start businesses up, our small businesses. That really, really disturbs me when I see that as a community, we don't support each other's businesses. And I'm talking about positive businesses. I'm talking about hair shops and barber shops and different things like that. There's a lot of stuff that I see online, on Facebook. We don't support each other. We'll get on there and we'll hit likes on a video where someone's shaking their butt, or, where someone's fighting, or, something that is really negative. People tend to cater to negativity more, and use that negativity as entertainment, and there's nothing wrong with catering to entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you noticed, when you look on social media and you see a negative post where people are fighting, or there's a fight and someone has recorded it and uploaded it to Facebook, that fight has 10, 20,000 likes, and then there'll be a pastor on there that will be, putting a post on there about his church or his ministry, and I want everybody to come out and join, and that same post might have not even 3/4 the amount of likes that video had where someone was on there fighting, or someone got hurt. And of course, when we see things, fights and stuff, we're going to stop, we're going to look, we might watch, but the thing is, that same video has thousands of shares also, and people they tend more to share that negative video than to share the post that was uploaded by the pastor about his ministry, or a person that has something positive going on, or a person that's trying to promote their business. And a lot of times it is people that in your circle as an entrepreneur, when you're a new business owner, or there's just something new that you're trying to do and you're trying to get off the ground, the last ones to support you are your family and friends. So the ones that you think will stand behind you and will support you, those are the last ones to support you. And that right there is the problem that I have with our community. And it can be anyone. This has nothing to do with race, but I'm definitely speaking on what I know firsthand as being a Black individual, and what I see go on in our communities, and the less amount of support that I see us give each other. I've experienced it as well in my up and coming in the industry and me developing my brand. My family members and friends were always the first ones that I thought would support me, and I will post, different things about my brand and stuff online. I'm not trying to say, someone needs to be on there giving me 1,000 likes, but at the same time, the people that you are closest to, those are the ones that you expect to support you. Because see, once you get to where you need to be financially and you're successful, because see, success has nothing to do with finance, but when that financial blessing comes, that is your financial success. And those same persons whom are close family and friends, they definitely look for your financial support. So why is that so much a problem for us to support each other in the up and coming? And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what keeps us at the bottom in the Black community when it comes to businesses and support, or when it comes to anything, and if you don't have that support from individuals in your community, you need that support before you become larger, and where you're noticed by the city and the states and then worldwide. So our businesses develop and succeed a little bit slower than other races, because we tend in our community not to give that support. And the question is why? And I will definitely speak on that in my next show. So definitely tune in again to Queen of Diamonds, and leave me comments and message me. Follow me on IG. If you're familiar with Spotify, you can go onto Spotify and just subscribe and listen and share. And I definitely appreciate your support. Thank you for listening to Queen of Diamonds. I am your host and creator, Diamond Perry. Thank you for listening to Queen of Diamonds. I am your host and creator, Diamond Perry. This show is now available on IG at Queen of Diamonds, and that's Queen OV Diamonds, IGTV, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, Castbox, and Podcast Addicts. Thank you for listening and supporting this show. I am Diamond Perry.